take your blindfolds off. Do not.
Take your goddamn blindfold off!
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. Meet Thomas Crooks, the assassin and Joe Biden donor who donated to a left-wing Get Out the Vote organization on the date of Joe Biden's inauguration, who went to Allegheny Community College, who's 20 years old, whose parents are counselors, and that's about all. He appeared in a BlackRock ad, and then we know nothing else about him. No social media footprint, no photos of him online other than his driver's license photo here, no manifestos, nothing. Just a blank slate. Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient that somebody who's such a blank slate would have the capacity to elude the Secret Service, get into a prone sniper position, and take 7 shots, based on all available data, at the president, murdering one of the president's supporters, and nearly murdering the president, lodging a bullet through his head, in a miracle that Trump lived, and then sending 2 other patriots, MAGA supporters, to the hospital. How did this 20-year-old elude the greatest protection agency in the world? Well, people are beginning to ask very odd questions about the history of Thomas Crooks, because it seems like he has a little more of a complicated past than we thought. You know, the government wants you to think that he's just acting alone, the lone assassin, political motivation. Well, if that's the case, then somebody's going to have to answer some really tough questions, like why were there people who work right next to the FBI visiting Thomas Crooks's home a dozen times over the last year? So, can somebody please explain that? If that seems shocking to you, let me introduce you to the oversight project here of the Heritage Foundation. Assassination Info Drop. We found the assassin's connections through our in-depth analysis of mobile ad data and tracked the movement of Crooks and his associates. To do this, we tracked devices that regularly visited both Crooks's home and his place of work and followed them. Oh my. What did we find out? We found out that Thomas Crooks was regularly visited at his work and also at his home, a building in Washington, D.C., located in Gallery Place. This is the same vicinity as the FBI. Whose device is this? Somebody who visited Crooks's home and work was also in D.C., right here, in a place called Gallery Place. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Washington, D.C., let me show you. This is Gallery Place, Chinatown. This is the metro stop right here. Green, red, and yellow line. Here's Capital One Arena, where sports teams play, like the hockey team, right? Here's the National Portrait Gallery. This is a Smithsonian. And right here is the FBI. Well, this is strange. That's just like probably a 2-minute walk from right there to right here. It's a block and a half away. Seems really close to the FBI. Not trying to jump to any conclusions here, but this location right here is exactly where you'd set up a meeting if you were the FBI, if you wanted it to be close to your office, and if you wanted to speak with the Trump assassin. That's very strange. So let's continue. Another device linked to Crooks visited Plymouth, Massachusetts. Wow. Why would they visit there? We found a device linked to Crooks that traveled to Butler, Pennsylvania on July 4th and July 8th. The device stopped all activity on July 12th, the day before July 13th, which would be the assassination date for Trump. So this device was scouting out the location, clearly, to kill Trump. On August 30th, the device linked to Crooks visited Allegheny Arms, where he bought the ammunition to kill President Trump. Here, the relevant locations within Bethel Park, Pennsylvania are both and all linked to Crooks's home and place of work. You can see his school, his work location, home location, Allegheny Arms and Gun Works. Well. For those who are tracking this type of data, we identified devices that were located at Crooks's home or at his work within the past year. There are at least 9 devices linked to these IDs. We're willing to cooperate with legitimate investigations for further information. We protect the whistleblowers of our investigation will not be shared further information with Congressional Task Force due to the connective tissue between that entity and FBI and U.S. Secret Service. If you have further information. So wait a second. So somebody who regularly visited Crooks and his home and his work also visited a building in Washington, D.C. What is this exactly? Really, really strange. Mobile data reveals somebody regularly visited Thomas Crooks, also visited a building near the FBI office. Worth asking some questions here. Why are we getting more information from the Heritage Foundation than we are from our own FBI or our own Secret Service director, Kimberly Cheadle, who just lied for 5 straight hours on the dais in Congress? A person who regularly visited Trump assassin's home, pinged by a cell tower within 500 meters from the FBI headquarters a year before the assassination attempt. What does this device belong to? Did the FBI meet with this person? Geofencing Thomas Crooks' home, you're able to track the phones that visited him. Crucial work because we cannot rely on the FBI to conduct the investigation. I witnessed firsthand how the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. protected foreign nationals who control American election software and sent out our election data overseas. They prefer to have geopolitical rivals managing America's election administration. The FBI operates as a political hoax machine aligned with the Democrats and the establishment. Truth transparency will only come from private citizens and whistleblowers. So important. The plot thickens, says Dinesh D'Souza. The FBI has some explaining to do, says Kyle Becker. Another device associated with Crooks detected in Massachusetts, and it stopped all activity on July 12th. Well, what do you know? Turned off his phone. Sneaky bastard. Really, really quite alarming. Who are these devices? You know, the federal government knows, actually. Interesting. Heritage Foundation conducting a parallel investigation of the Trump assassin. Already more transparency than what the FBI is telling us. That's exactly right, says Mike Benz. Man, we are in crazy times. I think that the reason the Secret Service director has not resigned is because something horrible has happened to Joe Biden, and you wouldn't be able to get an appointment for a new Secret Service director out of the way. Of course, you could have like interim directors and stuff, but with Joe Biden, you wouldn't be able to get a new Secret Service director appointed because Joe Biden is incapacitated completely right now. This is why you haven't seen him in a week. Have you seen Joe Biden? Can somebody post a photo of Joe Biden holding up a newspaper with like today's date on it? This is incredible. There's a guy named Eli Crane. He's a Navy SEAL sniper from way back in the day, Afghanistan, Iraq, and he knows a thing or two about taking shots, let's just say, and how to do some proper sniping. And here he is on the rooftop where Thomas Crooks was able to get his shots off, saying, yeah, guys, like anybody could have taken this guy out, and they didn't. So why?
Up here on the building where the supposed sniper took his shot, it's not that steep at all. We just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it 5 feet up this roof. He would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows that Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual. And then behind me, back over here where those red roofs are, that's where the stage was set up. That's where the president was giving his speech from. A lot of questions here in Butler, but we look forward to doing oversight and getting to the bottom of it and making sure it never happens again.
Incredible. Look at this. Look at this video that he posted. This is the video from Eli Crane, and it shows the sniper nest for the Secret Service. So this was allegedly where the Secret Service was, And this was the rooftop that Thomas Crooks crawled across. Army crawled for like 30 minutes. They had eyes on him for like an hour. And he crawled across this roof and got into position to shoot President Trump. It's President Trump, obviously, right there by the Red Barns. If you're even remotely familiar with the assassination video, you can see, you know exactly where these Red Barns are. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll play the original video. So you can see there. That's where he sat with his firearm, and you have the Red Barns right there. And this is the view from the Secret Service to shoot at him. Why didn't they shoot? Why the hell would you can't get an easier shot? It's like duck hunt. What are you doing? What's going on here? That's really, really creepy stuff. This is the clip of the day. Marjorie Taylor Greene asking the real questions here. Is there a conspiracy to kill President Trump in the federal government? Who gave the stand down order? Oh, baby. Here it is. Here it is. Creepy new information. Got to have these questions asked and answered. See ya.
No, you knew that everyone knew. The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand down order, Ms. Cheadle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Ms. Presley. Please answer that question.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We are waiting for your letter of resignation, and you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Chair, now recognize Ms. Presley.